Okay, maayong adlaw po and welcome to the fourth episode of Pandayan. And for today, our resource speaker will discuss yung drone technology for environmental initiatives. And ngayon po ay Nobyembre 11, 2023, Sabado at ang programa po natin ay mag-run from 3 to 4 p.m. I'm Kendrick Farinilo, the president and founder of Philippine Association of Environmental Science Student, and I'll be your host for this session. And para po sa mga webinar e-certificates, sa mga audience natin na naghahanap po ng certificates, kindly include your name and your university in the FB Live comment section. So pwede po kayong mag-hi doon sa amin. And the link to the evaluation form will be placed in the FB Live comment section before the event ends. And isasarado po namin yung G-Forms tomorrow by 8 p.m. para mabigyan po kayo ng enough time para makapagsagot ng evaluation form. And kami po ulit ang samahan na mag-aaral ng Agham Pangkaligiran ng Pilipinas. And we are the National Association of Organizations from both undergraduate and graduate levels of degree programs aligned, related, or equivalent to environmental science and environmental management. Tinatanggap din po namin yung environmental engineering, environmental planning, and environmental biology. And may isa pong faculty member ng isang university na nag-inquire po sa registration natin. Open po, lagi pong bukas yung pag-apply sa PAES. Email nyo lang po yung membership.paes@gmail.com at babalikan po namin kayo para sa application process. And gantong kalawak na po yung network na meron ng PAES mula Ilocos Sur hanggang Zamboanga del Sur. We currently have 40 member universities. At para po sa ating presentation this afternoon, meron po tayong konting baselining using menti.com. So paki-open na po yung tab na yon. And the opening remarks and introduction of the resource speaker, presentation and Q&A, and some announcements. Para po sa ating baselining, punta po ulit tayo sa menti.com and type the code 39107550 or you can scan the QR code. Again, you can type the code 39107550 or scan the QR code. So punta lang po tayo sa menti.com at i-type po ang code na ito. Okay? Okay, tingnan po natin ang mga nag-hi sa ating Facebook Live. So right now, andito rin po sa Facebook Live ang ating speaker. Pero sa mga ano po, sa mga nasa Facebook Live, pwede po ulit kayong pumunta sa menti.com and type the code 39107550. So i-type po natin kung asan po kayong probinsya ngayon. For example, Laguna. Or pwede nyo naman pong i-type sa ating chat box. Okay? So antay lang po tayo ng mga respondents. Okay, asan po tayo ngayon? Baka mahina lang internet dahil may bagyo ata. So baka hindi pa po sila nakapag-reply. Ayan, from Tarlac. We have some people from Tarlac. Pampanga. And yung iba mayroong Caraga. Meron ding Cotabato, Agusan del Norte. And I think from PUP Manila as well. Okay, sige po. Sa Facebook Live, pwede na rin po tayo mag-hi. Baka medyo mabagal lang po yung sa akin. Okay, sige. So ang susunod po nating tanong would be, nakapagpalipad or nakahawak, mali yan. Nakahawak ka na ba ng drone? Okay, nakapagpalipad or nakahanap ka na ba ng nakahawak? Sorry, nakahawak ka na ba ng drone? Okay, meron po tayo si Beverly Jane from Agusan del Norte. So two of our participants nakahawak or nakapagpalipad na ng drone. Nakaingit naman kayo. So may dalawa sa ating hindi pa. Ako po yung pangatlo na hindi pa nakakapagpalipad or nakakahawak ng drone. Okay? Sige po, sa ating Facebook comment section, pwede po tayo magsabi. Ayan, no pa din. So, ine-expect ko dito medyo mas mataas yung no. Kasi hindi naman ganong ka-familiar pa yung mga tao sa paggagawa ng drone. Usually for tourism siya. Pero for Envy Ganaps, parang yon kaya natin nakuha tong topic na ito. Okay, so for ang no to ang yes. Okay, add pa tayo. Ayan, si Beverly sa Facebook Live sabi niya hindi pa daw siya nakakahawak ng drone. Okay. Sige, sige. Last one, last one. Ayan, dumadami na po ang nanonood sa atin sa Facebook Live. So, antay lang tayo ng isa pa kung tigasan sila at nakahawak na ba sila or nakapagpalipad na ng drone? Oo, may nag-guess ulit. Okay, I know pala hindi nag-lag. Hindi, 4-2 pa rin. Okay. Bakit naglalag yung aking ano? Okay, sige, okay. Baka mamaya pa sila sasagot sa ating Facebook Live. May ano tayo, may lag tayo today. So, ayan. And, balik lang tayo sa slide natin. Okay. So, ayan po, sa mga hindi pa po nakakapag-follow ng socials namin sa PAES, we have the Instagram and YouTube net channel din po sa PAES para yung sa NVSI, ay Instagram po namin is NVSI at students, hindi, NVSI underscore students underscore PH para makita nyo po yung mga field photos ng ibang universities. Doon po namin yung pinapost. At sa YouTube channel naman po yung at Environmental Science Students PH. Doon nyo po mapapanood yung mga past webinars natin. So again, this is the fourth episode of Pandayan already at pwede nyo pong balikan yung iba pa naming episode. And reminder lang ulit po kasi ito yung pinaka-common na tanong kung meron po ba kayong e-certificate. Yes, we have an e-certificate. Just include your name and your university in the FB Live comment section. And again, meron pong evaluation form na ipopost or i-comment mamaya pag natapos po yung session. So, i-close namin ito tomorrow by 8 p.m. just to give you enough time to answer the evaluation form. So, meron na rin po tayong participant from Ateneo de Naga University. Okay. Ayan, so opening remarks, bakit po ba natin ginawa tong webinar na Drone for Environmental Initiatives? Kasi right now, yun nga, nasabi ko kanina na yung drone natin, parang ginagamit lang natin siya for pag-promote ng mga tourism videos natin, pero hindi pa natin na-explore kung paano siya i-gagamitin sa environmental initiatives. So meron po tayong tatlong pictures sa screen ngayon. So yung pinakauna po is from the Permaculture PH, which is isang organization na finound po ng ating speaker. So ginagamit niya po yung drone for agriculture research and kung paano po gumawa ng permaculture networks. Yung sa gitna naman po, from Drone Diaries by Malvin. So isa pong NVSI student, NVSI graduate then from UPLB. Ginagamit naman niya po yung drone for aerial inspection. So kung nakikita niyo po, ito po ata ay from Quezon Province. Tapos nakikita natin sa picture na medyo silted na yung river. So using drones, makikita rin natin paano ba to susolusyonan or paano to titignan. And then yung recently, yung pinaka dahilan kung bakit po tayo merong drone technology for environmental initiatives. Si DENR nag-post na meron silang nakitang dugong or sikaw sa isang dagat somewhere in the Philippines. And drone po yung ginamit nila. So it's very interesting kasi kahit hindi po tayo lulusong sa dagat, makikita natin yung mga biodiversity natin sa yung wildlife natin. So, that's why kailangan po or magandang topic po na magawa natin yung drone for environmental initiatives. And pakilala na po natin ang ating resident resource speaker, pangatlong episode na po niya sa PAES. So we have Dr. Jabez Joseph Flores, at nakagraduate po siya ng BA Sociology in the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, Master in Environment and the Natural Resource Management, Major in Upland Resource Management in the UP Open University, and naging klase ko po siya ulit sa UPLB School of Environmental Science dahil nag-take po siya ng PhD in Environmental Science, Cognate in Development Communication. Pero kuya, bago po kita ipasa sa yung floor, mag-hi lang po tayo dun sa ayan, nag-hi na po sila Caraga State University, Ateneo de Naga University, Cavite State University Main Campus, and University of Southern Mindanao Main Campus. Okay. So, Kuya Jabez, ipasa ko na po sa'yo pero ako mag-screen share so wait lang. Okay. Ay, wait lang. Tingnan lang po natin kung nag-reflect na yung slide sa ating FB Live.
Ayan.
Okay, wait lang po. Sorry, meron po. Ayan, kita na sa ating FB Live. Pero i-full screen pa natin.
Full screen na lang.
Paano po mag-full screen? Ito. Wait. Okay, ayan. Sige, Kuya Jabez, take the floor.
Thank you, Kendrick, tsaka sa PAES for the introduction and for inviting me again. Thank you, Kendrick, tsaka sa PAES. Ay, naririnig ko yung sarili ko. Ayan, okay. For inviting me again sa sa PAES activity na ito to talk about a different topic this time. It's about drone technology for environmental initiatives. So we will not really talk about the drone itself, though we will touch on that for a bit, but we will focus more on the applications of drone technology, no, in our respective fields, especially sa ating mga environmental science students. Meron dito mga hindi BSN Visay, may mga earth science students tayo dito. Meron sa inyo galing sa ibang fields, biology, merong mga galing sa social sciences. But I hope lahat tayo ay ma-inspired today to pick up a drone, no, to borrow or buy one and make use of this para sa ating research. Okay, next slide, please. Ayan. Okay, here are just some photos, no, of what we've been doing with drones for the past few months. Um, Together with Malvin, yung nabanggit kanina ni Kendrick, no, we've been mapping several places like this one sa UP Open University. We're designing or mapping a sustainability campus for the university. So we used 3 drones for that exercise, and we used GIS, some software also. And sa bottom photo, it's a DJI Phantom 4. It's the first time that I used it. It's in Vietnam. It's a rented drone, hindi siya sa akin. We used it for a development of an e-learning course for biodiversity. So yeah, it's my first time to handle a big drone like that one. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, ito yung mga ibang outputs din. Kung nakapunta na kayo sa UP Los Baños, meron kaming place dito called the Organic Agriculture Research, Development and Extension Center or ORDEC. Meron kaming map na ginawa dyan using drones. So nakapost yun doon. But it's due for updating na. And then na-feature din yung isa kong photo sa isang handbook on organic vegetable farming. So proud ako na napasama yung photo ko dyan sa cover ng book. Also, there's a brochure also here na napasama yung aking drone image. And here, the other photo here, yung Telo drone na ginamit ko, the first, I think, drone with a good camera na ginamit ko for research. And ito, nakapink ako, this one is in a field work sa Quezon. Okay, next. Okay, so I started with this small drone, yung DJI Rise Telo drone, and actually I did my dissertation, my PhD dissertation using this drone, and na-interest yung aking advisor. We actually presented this sa Milan, Italy for a conference. I brought my drone there, tapos pinalipad ko siya doon sa loob ng university. So, ang title ng poster ko dito is Let's Democratize Drones. So, it was unusual for someone to fly a drone doon sa tapat ng poster. Kaya nakatawa, maraming people lang nag-gather kasi I was actually flying a small drone doon sa tapat ng poster. So, they had a little fun, no, exploring the features and what it can do. And then nakalagay doon sa poster yung mga kung paano namin siya ginamit, yung methodology na ginamit namin na hopefully ngayon ay ma-inspire kayo, matutunan siya sa inyong future research. Okay, next slide. For the next slide, ito yung ating topic sa pag-uusapan ngayon. We only have 1 hour, so mabilis lang. First, a brief introduction to drones, the types of drones that we have currently in the market, and also some uses of drones. Then I will teach you some observation techniques, how to observe the landscape. And then we'll have a very short activity just to put into practice ano yung mga natutunan natin. And then I'll introduce you to some online drone services and tools na you can use as students as well. And some software din na mababanggit ko lang to pero hindi natin to i-discuss. This is for a separate webinar na. So it's the QGIS, some of you have used it already. Google Earth Pro also. And ito, not as familiar, but yung Microsoft Image Composite Editor. Okay, next slide. Okay, what is a drone? A drone is an unmanned aerial vehicle that can be remotely controlled or can fly autonomously, no? So it can fly on its own or meron kang remote control. In some cases, no, you have your cell phone to fly the drone. Okay, next slide. So a UAV, no, is an aircraft that is operated without a human pilot on board. So hindi mo kailangan ng pilot na nakasakay doon sa UAV mo. So you can just fly it autonomously, no? Pre-programmed flight or manually. You control the flight, no? The direction, the speed of the drone. Okay. Actually, some drones have the capability, no, na ipa-plot mo na kung saan sila lilipad, ano yung mga kuna nila. So halos wala ka nang ginagawa dun sa remote. Okay. Next slide. Um, But I want you to be fascinated, no, on how to look at the world differently because this is an emerging technology, very, very new. Very, very new. Hindi ko na to inabot nung college ko, nung master's ko, and barely nung PhD ko. So, having a drone, we have a new tool to understand the planet. As NVSI students, as science students in general, we can appreciate the world, no, from a different perspective. The recent emergence of commercial UAVs or drones in the market has led to their widespread use. Ito yung alam natin in film, sa events like weddings, sa tourism, of course, sa mga nagba-vlog, sa mga promo videos ng mga probinsya, and even yung real estate industries. Ginagamit nila to pag nagbebenta sila ng lupa o ng lote, ganyan. And also in agriculture and natural sciences, drones are used by farmers and scientists for the purposes of mapping, monitoring, and landscape management. Some bigger drones actually can spray or disperse seeds, no? Spray fertilizer or disperse seeds. If you visit here dito sa Los Baños, you will see big drones, big agricultural drones sa Erie International Rice Research Institute. Now, these are actually big heavy-duty drones that can actually apply fertilizers doon sa rice or kung ano man yung pwede nilang i-load doon sa mga sa payload ng drone na yun. Okay, next slide. The use of drones in research methodologies and mapping workflows can provide students like you and researchers with a unique perspective of the world that was not possible a few years ago. It was not possible in 2018. Not possible in the way na pwede kang bumili ng mura na drone na may magandang camera that has a lot of features. Meron na mga drones before, pero hindi pa siya feasible for us to buy kasi sobrang mahal. Okay, next slide. Okay, with drones, planning, decision support. Ay, wait lang. Narinig yung salita. May Okay. With drones, planning, decision support, and on-demand data collection in inaccessible and large areas are made possible with the aid of aerial imagery captured by a single drone pilot. So yung aerial images, ito yung products ng ating, ito yung data products na nakukuha ng ating drone. Along with smartphones, laptops, and digital cameras, drone should now be an essential tool for research. So pag pupunta kayo sa field, hindi lang laptop nyo tsaka yung camera nyo or phone nyo ang dala nyo. Sana meron na rin kayong dalang drone. No? It will make life easier for you, especially sa data collection, sa baselining, even sa sa pag in-explore nyo lang yung place kung first time nyo makapunta doon sa inyong study site. Okay, next slide. Okay, types of drones. So here's just an overview of some types of drones. We start actually on those with the military. They've been using drones since World War I for surveillance and reconnaissance missions. Actually, originally, yung aerial photography, nanggaling yan sa balloons. No? May nagpipicture from a balloon. But ginamit to ng military initially for reconnaissance. But meron naman tayong non-military uses. Ito yung pinag-uusapan natin ngayon. Noong 2000s, naging commercial to. meron tayong company na tinatawag na DJI, a Chinese company na nag-popularize ng drone sa public. So these are called commercial drones. Actually, commercial camera drones. The drones with a good resolution na camera. Then, more recently, we have these agricultural drones na can be seen as a solution to optimizing farm production and in addressing food security. In other cases then, drones can be used for deliveries, no? Actually, ngayon nangyayari na yun. Ginagamit na ang drones pang deliver ng food. Sa health sector, ginagamit to pang deliver ng medical supplies, ng medicines. So ang dami na. If you go into the drone industry, super dami ng applications ng drones right now. So hindi na lang siya basta sa reconnaissance and photography, but these are actual vehicles that could deliver payload, no, from point A to point B at long distances. Okay, next slide. Now, these are types of drones based on their features, camera features to be more exact. We have our thermal drones. So these are drones with thermal cameras. We have our LiDAR drones like this DJI Matrice. Ang ibig sabihin ng LiDAR is light detection and ranging. Mamaya makikita nyo kung saan ginagamit yan. And for the NVISI students dito, you may have heard of that already. And we have our multispectral cameras mounted on drones like this DJI Phantom 4 dito sa photo, no? So high precision drones that can see more than just what the eye can see or yung visible light spectrum, no? So it goes beyond the visible light spectrum. Next slide, please. So ito yung mga it's on the expensive end pa itong mga drones na to kasi these are special drones that can actually carry very expensive and very powerful cameras. Like these thermal drones, they can detect heat signatures. Dito kita sa photo natin, no? So yung mga may init, nakikita nyo as visualized in red. So maganda yan pag naghahanap kayo ng mga wildlife, no, from the air, these thermal cameras. So maganda tong panghanap. We have the LiDAR, which stands for light detection and ranging. It's a remote sensing technology that measures distance by illuminating a target with a laser and analyzing the reflected light. So ang ginagamit natin tong LiDAR, no, for elevation. No? Nakakuha tayo ng elevation data. So in this photo, you can see yung mga mabababang areas in yellow, yung matataas na areas in green. So yun yung makikita natin sa LiDAR, especially if you're making 3D models or 3D maps. A drone with a LiDAR camera is really good to have, though it's still very expensive and not accessible to all. Siguro yung isang office or department ang kailangan mag-invest para sa camera na ginto. We also have the multispectral cameras. I don't know if you've already learned sa inyong mga physics classes, no? Lahat ng bagay sa mundo may kanya-kanyang reflectance value. So for example, itong dead leaf tsaka stressed leaf, no? Makikita natin na meron siya kanya-kanyang reflectance in different bands, red, green, blue, or near infrared. So makikita natin using multispectral cameras based dun sa reflectance niya kung ano yung state ng vegetation or ng leaf na yon. Patay na ba siya, healthy ba siya, stressed ba siya. So this is usually used, no, para dito sa mga nagma-mapping using yung technique na normalized difference vegetation index, no, para mag-measure ng land cover. So kung nagma-mapping kayo, you are familiar with this technique. Next please. Papakita ko lang briefly itong yung ating spectrum, no. Different drones have different sensors. Most of our drones right now, yung camera drones natin, have RGB sensors, no? Yung red, green, and blue bands, which is yung nakikita natin. Pero yung mga multispectral cameras can actually see yung near IR tsaka yung thermal IR na wavelengths, no? So nakikita nila yung infrared. So mas maganda yung mga ganong cameras, though hindi pa natin afford, karamihan sa atin, lalo ng mga students, tsaka mga researchers or individuals in general cannot own cameras this expensive yet. Though with cameras like this, you can analyze more data, no? You can learn more about the landscape. But right now, we're limiting ourselves muna with drones that have RGB sensors or yung sa visible light spectrum niya. Okay, next. I'll give you a short introduction on the drones that I have. Since we've already discussed the expensive drones, let me discuss yung mga drones that we can actually afford. I started flying drones in 2016. That was the same year that I was admitted sa PhD and BiSci program. But I didn't have a drone during the first sem. I bought a drone during my second semester when I had my agriculture subjects because I took some agriculture subjects na hindi offered doon sa aming college. So at first, I wanted to use a drone kasi I'll be assessing farm designs for that subject. So I wanted to have aerial photos of my study site. So yung drone technology noong 2016 ay hindi pa ganun kaganda. So I actually bought just a toy drone. It's called the Sima X5SW. It's a toy drone. It's worth 5,000 pesos sa SM during that time. It has a camera. It can shoot videos and take photos. 2 megapixel. Tapos yung camera, plus wala siyang GPS. Okay, so wala siyang GPS. You have to manually control it. It will not stay stable while flying. You have to be good at the joysticks not to fly this kind of drone. So I flew this for a while, maybe 2 years. It crashed several times. Hindi ko na siya ginagamit, though it's still working. But if you want to just to explore flying, get a feel of the joysticks, get the feel of flying something actually, this is a good toy. Not yet for research, but a good toy. I didn't have a choice that time, so I used this for research. And then in 2018, when I was writing my thesis, my dissertation proposal, I was looking for a drone that was cheap, budget-friendly, but has a good camera. During that time, wala pang ganon. And then it was released, yung ating DJI Rise Tello drone. This costs 5,000 pesos right now. 5 megapixel camera, 720p video transmission. Can fly up to 30 meters high. So it's good. 30 meters high is 100 feet. So you can cover a lot of ground using this. Actually, ito yung pinaka-productive kong drone so far, even hanggang ngayon. Kasi I've used this in a lot of sites, in a lot of places. And yung aking latest drone, which I'm currently using right now, released just 2 years ago, yung ating DJI Mini SE. 12 megapixel camera. So camera is very good, though right now it's good model na kasi DJI has been na-disconnect yata ako. Next slide, please. Ayan, yan. Ayan. Drones I used in the field. Yung DJI Rise Tello drone, I used it for my dissertation, went all over the Philippines. With this drone, documented a bunch of farms using this one. Then, like I mentioned earlier, I brought this drone to Italy, presented in a conference, and showed a lot of people now that a small budget drone can do a lot. DJI Mini SE, I use it right now for mapping projects and also for teaching. If there are students who are interested in flying, pinapagamit ito sa kanila. Pinapademo ko just to get the confidence know how to fly a drone, how to use it for mapping basically. And then the last drone that I used, I think a few months ago, was this DJI Phantom 4. This is not mine, so we just rented that. It's a good drone, it's an older model, but it can fly very high and has a good camera also. Okay, next slide. Just to show you yung quality, the difference between the quality of the photos of these drones. So in 2016, this is the same spot in Rizal, Laguna. So hindi ko na foresee na gagawin ko tong slides na to, pero kinumpare ko yung 2016, 2019 at yung 2023. See how technology evolves, no, in such a short span of time. The level of detail in the images that we can see. Okay, next slide. We make sure na you're not just buying a drone, but every time you have a new drone, you make sure na meron kang output using that drone. It's not just for novelty or masabi lang na meron kang ganong klaseng drone. But when you purchase a drone or any equipment for that matter, dapat meron siyang tangible na output. Now, even though the CMX 5SW is just a toy, no, I was able to make a paper on analysis of water requirements of chili, Capsicum frutescens in Tarlac. And then the Rice Telo drone, not just presented in a conference, but we were able to publish a chapter in a book about how to use that drone. And itong DJI Mini SE ko has been used by UPLB, College of Agriculture, for their projects as well. So I'm very happy na nare-recognize na yung need for drones. Next, some uses of drones for end-buy initiatives. No? So you can get your pen and paper and start taking notes. Saan ko kaya pwede gamitin itong drone sa aking research? Not necessarily your thesis, but even just your papers in class or your projects. Next. Okay, so these are not all of my photos. Some drone images here are stock photos from Canva kasi I don't have the opportunity yet not to take these kinds of photos yet. But first, you can use your drone for site survey planning and designing a site. No? So if ever you're designing a farm, a conservation area, or even a place of residence, you can use your drone kasi drone images can actually be overlaid onto maps or satellite images, and then you can start measuring, no, using the tools in the GIS software that you are using. So what's the difference between the satellite images? In drone images, you can actually see a real-time image of the landscape. No? Hindi siya an image from 5 years ago, 2 years ago, or a month ago. It's yung itsura ng landscape at that moment. So you're able to identify landscape elements na present at that time of data collection. So that's very crucial because the landscape changes very fast. No? Umulan lang or uminit, vegetation color changes. No? There can be typhoon, maraming landscape components ang mawawala. So ang maganda sa drone is yung acquisition ng data mabilis. Real time siya, on demand. Number 2 is land use and land cover monitoring. This is for long dito yung mga long time na mga studies, no. Meron kang time element. You've been observing for months, for a year. You can take a photo of one landscape, one view, one angle, pare-pareho during that duration, and you can see and actually measure, no, what's been changing in that landscape. Identify elements, measure the areas that's been changing, no, identify the colors that's been changing in the vegetation. Kikita natin kung meron ba mga built-up areas na nabubuo during that time span. So it's really good for monitoring. Actually, this is yung pinaka-used, no, na feature ng drone is for monitoring. And this week I have a reforestation project, no, na i-monitor. So about 400 trees will be planted, and I need to take photos of the area before I plant yung trees, while they're growing, and once they're fully grown. So this is a really long commitment for monitoring. We want to see how the tree planting activity or effort will do after a few years. Number 3 is biodiversity conservation. Actually, you can use the drone to photograph animals, no? Hindi very intrusive. So you'll just fly at a height na hindi sila mababother. You can actually count, no, mammals. You can look for birds' nests. You can look for even yung pinakita ni Kendrick kanina, no, yung dugong. You can go search for marine life. You can even participate in species inventories, no, using the drone. So maganda siya kasi the drone can fly very high, or you can take a series of photos as pwede siyang stitch together and then look for the animals within that landscape. So it saves time, it saves money kasi you do not have to go and walk sa large area para maghanap ng wildlife. So it's good for counting and monitoring species populations. Disaster response, here in the Philippines, hindi pa siya ganon na utilize yung drone images, but we can use drone images actually to validate yung mga flood models na generate natin, no? So, mahaba talaga sa mga areas na to. Our drones can fly and take a series of photos, no, identifying the areas that have actually been flooded. And hindi lang sa floods, sea level rise related then. We can also observe that through drones, landslides, earthquakes, assessing damage, extent ng damage, all of those can be used using drone images. Public health and epidemiology, actually, you can actually take photos of urban landscapes. So it's not just natural landscapes that we can observe, but urban landscapes. We can identify areas na merong mga tinatawag na tawag dito yung mga sources ng pollution, saan yung mga areas, saan yung mga water sources, nasan yung mga water pumps na possible na pwedeng daanan ng mga sakit. Marami tayong infrastructures na pwedeng hanapin through drone images, and pwede natin i-overlay yung mga data natin sa actual maps or on Google Earth. Related to that is yung pollution detection. So for example, dito yung oil spill, I remember, no, mayroon tayong recent oil spill na minomonitor. I think this was this year lang din. And it would help, no? Inisip ko noon, what if we have these army of drone pilots, no, who can just go there and map the oil spill using drones, no? Kasi and geotag those images. So we can really see saan kumakalat yung oil spill. So that's just one of the uses, identifying sites kung saan nag-accumulate ang pollution like trash, saan yung mga nagba-backyard burning can also be done by drone images. And also you can see areas na like sa water pollution also, saan nagkakaroon ng mga tawag dito yung discharge from domestic use and industrial use, makikita din natin dyan. Lastly, marami pa to pero due to the lack of time, no? Ecotourism and agritourism. You can use the drones, no, to actually learn more about the site. Where do your farms fit into the natural landscape, no? Is my farm beneficial to the landscape? Is my farm beneficial to the people? What is my farm doing? How is it impacting yung surrounding land? So you can use it
Okay, so parang meron po tayong technical difficulties for the moment. Pero siguro ano lang natin, i-reiterate lang natin yung uses of drones habang inaantay na makabalik si Kuya Jabez. For me, I think pictures pa lang, wag mo man nang tignan tong nasa left side, yung makikita mo agad kung paano ba talaga siya gamitin. So kagaya ng sinabi ni Kuya Jabez yung sa oil spill recently in Mindoro. So right now, yung Mindoro State University member ng PAE. So if merong yung org nila or yung department nila magkaroon sila ng drones. Tapos sila kasi yung pinakamalapit dun sa area. So madali nilang mamap kung paano ba sosolusyonan yun. Kasi di ba importante yung time pag nagkaroon ng oil spill kasi mas matagal natin siyang solusyonan, mas kakalat yung oil. So if ever na meron pong magsa-sponsor, kuwari lang, sa Mindoro State University, madali pong makukuha agad kung paano ba ilalagay yung trash boom or yung oil buyer doon para at least ma-prevent agad. Kasi umabot ata ng ilang days bago tayo nakagawa ng makeshift oil traps bago pa natin siya at kumakalat na siya bago pa siya na-solve. And as well as yung sa yung disaster response. Alam naman natin na 19 to 21 bagyos every year ang tumatama sa Pilipinas. And ang pinakaunang response na dapat ginagawa ay yung aerial. So if meron tayo, kung wala tayong helicopter, hindi naman tayo privileged lahat. Doon na lang tayo sa sa drone kasi at least kahit papano, mas madali nating makikita.
Okay. Thanks, Kendrick.
Ayun, go Kuya Jabez.
Okay. Sorry, sorry. Okay, next. Ayan, these photos are examples of an... Okay, next. Pakita ko sa inyo. Yeah, next slide. Yan, this is an aerial image no, that I took in Cagayan, Quezon. So ito yung ating yung parang raw product ng ating drone. This is the kind of the data that we can have using the drone. But we can process that further. Okay, next slide. Yeah. Yan. We can process it further. We can turn it into an orthomosaic, no? So that's a bunch, hundreds of photos stitched together and just form this massive image that's not just possible with one frame. And then actually, we can convert that into a 3D model. No? This is a photogrammetry made in Agisoft Metashape. Demo lang kasi wala ako nung paid version. So I use the demo just para lang pakita sa inyo na it's possible. You can actually turn these images into a 3D model. Okay, next. If you don't have access to a software like that, you can use QGIS. It's free, and actually, and you can geo-reference your drone image or your orthomosaics into a digital elevation model or a DEM that gives you also data on the elevation and the contours of a landscape. So in other words, pwede mong ilapat yung photos mo in a digital model in GIS. Okay, next. This is what we call a map overlay. So you will treat the drone image or the orthomosaic as a data layer sa inyong GIS interface, no? So pwede mo siyang ilapat along with other data that you have on the landscape. So in this case, nilapat namin siya sa satellite image. Nilagay ko dyan, you can see drone and satellite. You can see the contrast, no, between the quality of the drone and the satellite. So these are not competing technologies. These are complementary technologies that you can use, both of these, satellite and drone images. What the drones can provide you is higher resolution. With high resolution, you have more data. So actually, you can see how many coconut trees ang nandito sa landscape, no, with the drone image. Plus, we have these points that you see. We're identifying trees using GPS. So napipinpoint namin nasan yung mga trees on the landscape. So you can overlay a bunch of things, no, in one map, a lot of data in one map. And a good base map, no, is a high quality drone orthomosaic or a drone image. Okay, next. Kung wala pa tayong knowledge on GIS and using all of these kinds of software, we actually develop a methodology where we can use the drone for visual inspection. For visual inspection, hindi mo lang basta titingnan yung landscape kasi you need to know what to look for when doing these inspections, no, or monitoring. So we developed what we call our drone observations landscape monitoring sheet. It's available, and ito yung link eh. We have a template for this. It's available online. Pwede nyo message si Kendrick kung interested kayong makuha tong monitoring sheet na to. In this slide, you can see one landscape monitored for a year. Okay, so you can see the changes in the landscape. No? Same view, one view lang siya. And then we have this list of guide questions. Actually, you can modify these questions to suit your study. In this particular study, we're looking for a permaculture landscape. So in a permaculture landscape, we're looking for many landscape components like biotic components, abiotic, structural, technological, socioeconomic, and cultural. And then we have this set of guide questions. No? What trees do you see? How many trees are there? And these questions, these guide questions can be answered just by looking at the photo. Okay, next. When you answer these questions, you need to record this on a summary report sheet, no, of observations. So when you're using a drone, you have this sheet. It's nasa Canva siya. You can just type the location of the photo, the date, the time, the flight altitude, that's crucial, no? Gaano kataas na pinalipad yung drone. And then the conditions. Kung sunny ba, cloudy, yung wind speed, is it mild, moderate, or strong? And then you have this table here where you can put yung mga count, no? So that's quantitative data. You can also put qualitative data to describe yung mga colors, yung size, ano yung mga changes na nangyayari dun sa frame na to. Okay, actually you can use several drone observation monitoring sheets in one site. Okay, so this is just one view of one site. So ganyan yung final output. Maganda siya, especially kung nagmo-monitor kayo ng isang lugar, no, for a long time. Okay, next. Next slide. Okay, the landscape, it's important na mention ko. The landscape is tangible out there and simultaneously a mental reality. Kasi patterns on the landscape reveal patterns of human behavior. So I always tell this to my classes. So ano yung nakikita natin sa landscape? Actually, it's a reflection, no? Kung ano yung ginagawa ng mga tao on the ground. Okay, whatever we do as a society, nagmamanifest siya physically sa landscape. As environmental science students, as environmental scientists, hindi lang yung physical world ang pinag-aaralan natin, no? Pinag-aaralan din natin yung mga tao who are actually playing in that matrix of ng biophysical na world kung saan sila nag-ooperate. Okay, so whatever action that we do, whatever decisions that we make, whatever policies that are created, hindi pwedeng hindi mag-manifest ito sa landscape. Our environmental initiatives, our ideas, our efforts are futile if it does not manifest physically on the landscape. The landscape tells a story about our culture, our values, and traditions. A lot of things, especially NBISI, happens on paper. We present in conferences, we present in class, we publish, we write papers. But as long as those studies are not manifested on the landscape as shown in these drone photos, wala siyang kwenta. Okay? Having a drone, no, it's a good reminder, no, if what am I doing as an NBI scientist, no? Is it actually manifesting on the landscape? So these are the very crucial questions that we need to ask ourselves. No, nagma-manifest ba yung ginagawa ko sa school, sa landscape ko, sa local landscape ko? I fly the drone, no, to see if whatever I did in this life, no, ever made a difference. And pag nakita ko sa drone ko, okay, it's not enough pa. We need to keep on going. Okay, next slide, please. Aside from maps and satellite images, high-resolution aerial imagery from drones provides more data for whatever purpose we have. Like yung sinabi ko earlier, no? It's real time and it's on demand. Kung ano yung nakikita mo habang nasa field ka, yun yung data na makukuha mo dun sa site na to. So these boats dito sa aerial image na to, sa Google satellite image, wala yung mga boats na yan. So if you're doing a study on the impact of fishermen in the coastal area, no, pwede mo gamitin yung data niyan. During that time, March 18, 2023 at 4:55 p.m. ay nakita kaming 4 na fishing boats or 5 fishing boats, no, na nandito sa coast. So may mga ganyang data, nakukuha natin siya using drones. Okay, next slide. So I'll give you a short activity. So para doon sa mga nasa Facebook Live, tsaka yung nandito sa Zoom, pwede kayong mag-participate. Okay, type your answers. I think sa class na gawa na namin to, sa class ko, sa rural and sa UTOU. But feel free to join kung familiar kayo sa activity na to. Okay, next slide. Ayan. Next slide, please. Ayan. Okay. Type in the comment section, no? What observations about the landscape can you make using this drone image or mosaic? Okay, quickly lang. Ano yung mga observations na nakita? Just by looking at the orthomosaic, without knowing where this is, or what or what that is. Ano ba to? Lake, dagat ba to? Can you just jot down some observations? Para dito sa Zoom, anong mga nakikita nyong, what observations yun you make?
Ako, kuya, hindi ko sure, pero solar farm ba tong nalutang sa gitna? Kasi may nalutang na
Yeah.
human intervention.
Yeah, good observation. Hindi siya farm, no? Ano lang siya? Solar panels lang siya na maliit. Actually, malaki siya. Pero hindi siya farm. But yeah, solar panel siya. How about sa NVSI perspective, no? What can you say about this image?
Kuya, basahin ko yung nasa Facebook Live, ah. Ang sabi po,
Sige,
dirty
sige.
daw yung lake. Dirty daw yung
Okay.
lake, tapos dull color of brown yung water source.
Yeah.
Feel ko students mo to.
Yun, so nakaka-make tayo ng ating alam nila yan. Meron ka bang plants na nakikita dyan, Kendrick? Ano yung plants
Ako,
na
kuya,
nakikita
parang
mo?
water lily yung yung nagko-crawl. Water lily nga ba siya? Or parang
Water
basta
hyacinth,
water
no?
plant. Ayun,
Uh,
water hyacinth.
water hyacinth. Yeah, so
And
pag
banana
maraming
plantation
water
ba tong
hyacinth sa
isa?
tubig, oo nga, mukhang banana siya. Mukha siyang backyard farm. So marami tayong
Dikit-dikit
water
daw po yung
hyacinth,
bahay.
no? Dikit-dikit, oo. Actually, related yung
Tapos,
pagkadikit-dikit nitong mga bahay sa presence ng maraming water hyacinth sa quality ng water. Ayan.
tapos meron daw pong algae floating in the lake.
Yung mga dark patches, no? Ayan.
Algae ba yun, kuya?
So,
Or ano lang? Debris.
actually, di ko alam yung mga dark patches na yun eh. Yung nasa tabi ng water lily, ay ng water hyacinth.
Na-hyacinth.
Uh,
Baka island, char.
yun. So, yeah, we can make a lot of mga observations, no, using this image, no? Kahit di natin lang kung saan to. So, when you use a drone, when you start using a drone, you will be looking at a lot of images, no? Analyzing a lot of images, not using a computer or any high-tech things. You'll be just looking at images on your computer and looking for patterns, no? Looking for patterns and environmental impacts ng tao. It's a good exercise, no? Especially for us NVSI people. Kasi sinusubukan, no, kung ano na yung alam natin, no? When flying a drone, as NVI scientists, we should know what we're looking for. At least may idea tayo. Para tayong mga ang analogy dito, kunyari yung mga doctors, no, when they're looking at the results of your tests, alam na nila kung ano yung sakit mo or may problem sa'yo. Sa mga NVSI students and scientists, no, tingnan ka lang ng ganyang photo, alam mo na may sakit to. May sakit tong landscape na to. Okay? So, ganyan yung gusto nating i-cultivate, no, na attitude or skill using yung ating drones. Okay, next slide. Thanks for participating. Actually, this orthomosaic you can convert into a 3D model as well. So you have an idea, no, where these houses are relative to the water body. This is a lake, by the way. Okay, next. Patapos na tayo. I want to introduce you to some drone services. Okay, next. Na probably you haven't heard of yet. One is Globi or Global Health. This is based in Sweden. Sabi nila, the data you need for the planet you love, the world's premier marketplace for on-demand drone data. So naka-sign up ako dito as a drone pilot, though I haven't had any missions since. I only had one. Ang concept kasi nito is para kayong mga Uber driver. And then yung mga customers nyo, mga estudyante, mga researcher, mga scientist. And then pag may kailangan sila, magme-message yung Globy sa amin na pwede ka pumunta sa, let's say, Laguna Lake. Kunan mo daw tong area na to. Tapos yun yung order ng client. So para kaming ganun, no? Para kaming mga driver pero for drones. Tapos nag-acquire kami ng data. Ang tawag nila dito sa ganitong concept is crowd droning. So para siyang citizen science din, no? Wala silang drone pilots na employees, pero yung mga nagsa-sign up na mga interested drone pilots, pwede silang sumali dito sa Globi to provide data, no, for their respective areas. So maganda siya. Kung by time kayo gusto niyo ng sideline or if licensed ka na pilot kasi you'll be paid by Globi. So to be able to actively participate in Globi, you need to be a licensed pilot. Yung ginawa ko noon, yung una kong mission dito before is just a volunteer. Nagbigay lang ako ng images to them without pay. So pwede rin yun, pero I don't know ano yung benefit nun sa'yo, pero you can actually do this as a sideline if you're a registered drone pilot. Registered drone pilot and a registered business, no, ng drone. The other one, GeoNadir, based in Australia, which is actually a mapping tool, online mapping tool to geo-reference and map your drone images. So dito pwede ka mag-participate kasi meron silang mga free na features dyan. Take ka ng drone images, one data set, upload mo dyan sa GeoNadir and you can map your images there. So madali siya, you do not have to learn QGIS or ArcGIS or any other software. Para siyang one-stop shop. Feel free to explore na geonadir.com. Okay, next. Some final thoughts. Sakto 4 o'clock. Final thoughts. Next. Incorporate the use of drones, aerial images into your research methodologies because it will work well with your maps, no? Like what I did here in this slide. No? Think of a way how you will incorporate aerial imagery in your studies. No? Pag nagko-conceptualize kayo, isipin nyo na paano to masasagot ng aerial image. No? Paano ako matutulungan ng aerial images or ng drones? Make the drone an essential part of your research toolbox. It's like a small satellite in your pocket. And it's as important as your computer, smartphone, or camera. Okay, last slide. You can download this reference methodology supportive of sustainable development in agriculture and natural resources management. Our chapter on drones is actually there. Pwede nyo access siya. It's free. Nandun siya sa website namin and nasa website din siya ng CIRCA. Okay, so if you're interested in patterning your own methodology, you can start with this one because this is the methodology that doesn't need any software. You just need your drone, your phone, and a notebook. Okay, yun na kaya, drone, phone, and notebook. That's all you need. You do not need fancy software or even a laptop. So it's good na if you're able to read this chapter, adapt it, and make it your own. Okay, last slide. Okay, thanks for listening, and I hope you learned a lot today.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kuya Jabez, for being, 'di ba, ikaw nga yung isa sa regular nating resource speaker. Pero just to give time also for our participants sa Zoom na mag-isip, ay sa Zoom tsaka sa Facebook Live mo na mag-isip. Tapos syempre, 'di ba, yung unang lesson mo sa amin during the Pandayan session is yung tawag doon, three tips. Pero bago ako magbigay ng three tips, magsha-shoutout muna tayo dun sa mga bagong ah students or bagong universities na nag-attend. So I think isa dito ay yung UP Rural, yung mga students mo ay humabol in the middle of in the middle of the talk.
So yes,
So
dito sila sa Facebook.
yes, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
so we have Bukidnon State University, President Ramon Magsaysay State University, Don Honorio Ventura State University of Pampanga, Isabela State University, Central Mindanao University from Bukidnon. We also have yung Davao Oriental State University and of course yung UP Rural. Okay. Tapos bago ko kuya magtatlong tips, doon muna ako, make side chika lang ako kasi konti yung konti yung three tips, medyo mahirap. Okay. Doon sa tawag doon? Asa yung notes ko? Nawala yung notes ko. Wait. Hindi, doon na nga tayo sa tatlong tips kasi hindi ko na makita yung yung notes. So, yung ko. Okay, yung una kuya, thank you din sa use of drones kasi technically, nakapagbigay ka ng ah seven thesis topics na pwedeng gawin ng mga students natin. So, ano agad yon. Mga nagtitesis, nagtawag doon, nagtitesis ngayong SEM, pag pinanood nyo to, at least kita nyo na agad yung pwede nating gawin or pwede nating topics na gawin. Tapos, yung number two, yung comparison kasi kuya, syempre, for us naman, hindi natin alam. Ako, personally, hindi ko alam yung megapixels and stuff. So, nung nakita ko yung pinakauna mo, then Telo and DJI, akala ko noong una okay na yung yung 5 megapixels. Pero dahil nagkaroon tayo nung pagkakita kay DJI, ayun, ang ganda pala nung nung ganong kagandang so, tawag doon, investment. So, sulit yung pag-invest sa medyo mas pricey kasi makikita mo yung satellite, clear na clear. And then lastly, kinabahan ako ng konti kasi akala ko maibibigay mo yung yung, yung last, tawag doon, yung last analogy ko kasi ang ginamit mo ay doctor. So yung akin naman is for us kasi ang NVISI, ang gamit natin ay drone para makita. So it's very similar to yung pag microbio. Ang gamit nila microscope para makita yung cell. So atin, drones ang ginagamit natin para makita yung isang malaking picture. Okay? So
Nice.
ayan. Muntik na kinabahan ako ng konti. Sabi ko, oh my gosh, mawawala yun ako. Analogy ka. Okay, so we can now proceed with the question and answer. Pero nagkakaroon lang ng problema dito sa Zoom o tsaka sa Facebook Live. Kasi pinipin kita pero hindi kita mapin. Okay. So ayan, sige, punta muna tayo kayo sa question. So we have three questions from our registered participants. Pero i-entertain din natin siguro 1 to 2 questions from the Facebook live. So yung una is yung very generic. Ano ba yung challenges and potentials of drone research? Although nagsabi ka naman ng mga potential, siguro yung isa na lang sa challenge.
Okay, ang nakikita kong main challenges sa drone, no? Una yung cost. Kasi sabi nga ni Kendrick, no, itong drone na to, siya na yung pinakamura na may 12 megapixel eh. But it still costs a lot. And you still run the risk of crashing it. No? There's still the possibility, though mababa. Pero di ba nakakaiyak siya pag nag-crash? Especially if wala ka pang experience. So, if you just want to fly, no, with good pictures, start with this one. Sabihin ko na yung price. 5,000 to, yung boost combo nito, yung kasama na lahat ng features is 7,000. This is This is 21K, 21 to 25K. So it's a big jump no sa price. Okay, it's a big jump. Kung student ka, you can afford this. Actually, hindi ko to binili. This was part dun sa funding. So, binili namin to out of the funding. Because it was new. We didn't know how to fly yet. So we need to buy something cheap muna. The other, I think, challenge is yung pag-build ng confidence mo to fly. Kasi nakakatakot siya, especially pag lumilipad na mataas hindi mo nakikita. Iba yung kaba eh. Parang ikaw yung lumilipad. Parang ikaw yung lumilipad. So, I think lots of practice, no? Build your confidence. Once you're able to overcome that, doon na papasok yung natututunan mo sa NVISA eh. Kasi ako noon gusto ko maging astronaut, no? Hindi ako naging astronaut, so hindi ko makikita yung Earth from space. So I think flying a drone is the next best thing. Kaya plus with my profession, no, studying the environment, I think the drone is the next best thing. So I think that's it, yung cost tsaka confidence. Dalawang C yun. Those are the two challenges.
Ang hirap sundan talaga pag teacher. Ang daming acronym. Ang daming ganap sa life. Pero may dadagdag ako kuyang challenge. Una is
Yeah.
yung tawag doon, dapat yung stamina mo malakas. Kasi pag naglobat yung drone, kailangan mo takuhin kung saan siya babagsak. Tapos ang ganda ko yun nung
yeah,
go.
ah,
Ay, ang ganda ko yun nung
no,
nung sa astronaut kasi nga syempre ang hirap naman magka-spaceship. Ang konti lang naman ang nakakalipad sa space. So let's go for the achievable yung drones.
mas mura.
Oh, okay. Mas yun, mas kayang i-achieve. Okay, kuya. Yung second question, medyo na-touch mo na to doon sa pagtatalk mo. Ang tanong kasi niya, how does drone as new technology provide detection of pests in upland ecosystem and forest seed dispersal detection?
Mga yan, kailangan mo ng high resolution to look for pests, no? So I think mahirap mahanap yung pests mismo, but evidence ng presence ng pests ang pwede mong makita. So yun, I think yung multispectral cameras, makikita na pwedeng gamitin dyan. Or if you have a really high resolution drone, 12 megapixel that flies slow, pwede mo na makita yung leaves eh. Actually, etong picture ko sa likod, sa background, 12 megapixel yan eh. Pag zoom mo yan, malinaw yan. So if you fly a little lower pa, depende kung ano yung hinahanap mo. Like the other time, no, may college student na dinala yung colleague ko. They're looking for birds' nests. Sabi ko, pwede yan mahanap using RGB sensor. Kailangan mo lang malaman na yung tamang height ng paglipad ng drone mo. So, it depends. Kasi marami tayo software ngayon na pang-enhance ng colors, no? So, yeah, you can find the pest, but evidence ng presence ng pests and yung seed dispersals, you can find it. Maraming magic dyan sa sa mundo ng photography. So, kasi we're playing with light, no? Marami tayong pwedeng mahanap dyan using yung mga reflectance values, spectral signatures. Magandang explore yan.
Kuya, si DJI, kaya niya mag-pest basta low flight?
Depende kung ano hinahanap mo eh.
Hindi,
Kasi
kuwari
kunyari,
malaking pest. Kuwari yung lang, yung science, kuwari nag-discoloration yung buong farm. I think,
discoloration
yun,
niya, especially sa banana, kita yan. Kita yan agad kasi malaki yung leaf ng banana eh. Pero kung yung hinahanap mo na yung nasa, kunyari lettuce
aphids.
lang, tapos
Hindi kita yun.
1 by 5 na plot, medyo mahirap daw kayang makita, makakita ka pa rin. Yan. So, it depends. Nasa skill mo na rin yan.
Si DJI, kaya sa banana plantation. Kita niya yung yellow coloring.
Kaya yan. May makikita kayong discoloration.
Okay,
Actually,
sige,
dito sa
ayan.
background ko, makikita kang banana sa side ko. Doon sa may name
Ito,
ko.
sa baba.
Kita mo na
Sa
agad na
baba.
naninilaw
Yes,
yung
yes. Kulang siya sa
layo
potassium.
pa yan.
Potassium
Mataas
nga ba
yung
yung
lipad
yellow?
niyan eh.
Okay.
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen ang yellow. Yellowing of leaves. Okay.
Tama ba?
Ayan, kuya. Naalala ko na isang chika ko. Sabi ko, di ba, parang every time kasi na every time na nagwe-webinar tayo sa Paris, kahit ulit-ulit kong sinasabi na marami ako natutunan. For me, hindi kasi common term sa akin yung LiDAR. tsaka yung vegetation reflection. So parang may bagong word na naman ako for today
And
na
hindi,
matututunan sa Okay. Tapos may ano pa, may visible light
yeah.
spectrum ka pang pinakita. Okay, sige po. Balik tayo din sa ano. Right now, kuya, ito yung third and last question. Wala pa po nagtatanong sa Facebook Live. Pero shout out muna tayo kay ano, from De La Salle University Integrated School. So nag-comment po siya. Nanonood siya ngayon
Hello.
sa ating Facebook Live. Okay, ito na kuya yung ano, parang rurok ng tanong. How are you
Okay.
able to get your drones registered? Or paano ba mag-license sa drone technology?
Ayan. Ngayon, meron tayong mga drones na nire-register, mga 250 grams and above, no? Pag 250 grams and above na, hindi na yan laruan. So, ito, mga 249 gram drones lang. Ito yung gamit ng mga vloggers eh. Okay, so, pwede yan. Pero, hindi mo siya pwede pagkakitaan. Yun yung problem, no? Pag hindi registered yung drone mo. Una, kung wala kang, para siyang kotse Kendrick eh, yung drone. Re-register mo yung sarili mo as a pilot, i-rehistro mo yung drone mo, i-rehistro mo yung negosyo mo as a drone business. So, hindi ka pwede mag-negosyo ng drone ng hindi ka wala kang lisensya. So, don't be disappointed kasi mga estudyante lang kayo, mga researchers tayo, ginagamit natin ng drones within the context of a project, no, for research. So hindi siya the context of business. But if ever you have the need, no, to fly a bigger drone with a more sophisticated camera, baka kailangan na mag-hire ng drone pilot and a drone. Kasi siya yung pwedeng, kaya siya naging mahal, 'di ba? Kaya siya naging mahal yung mga studies na gumagamit ng mga thermal cameras, multispectral. Kasi you need a registered drone and a registered drone pilot to do that. Pero itong mga camera drones na maliliit, kuha lang tayo ng mga pictures for our research, okay lang yan. Related din pala doon, Kendrick, no? For kung meron na dito mga napapaisip bumili ng drone, make sure yung area na papaliparan nyo ay pwedeng magpalipad ng drone. Kasi hindi pa solid yung rules natin dito sa Pilipinas, no? Kanya bawat barangay, LGU, city, may kanya-kanya yung mga paris, even village nga eh. Sa UPLB campus, bawal ka palipad ng drone. Actually, no? Sa certain mga subdivisions, di ka pwede magpalipad ng drone. Kasi baka ma-accuse ka ng espionage or whatever, no? So, kung meron kayong study na i-conduct, I think standard naman yun. Magpapaalam ka sa barangay captain, ganyan-ganyan. You have to connect to the right people, no? Para bago kayo magpalipad. Kasi, aminin natin na drone is very an intrusive instrument. Intrusive siya sa privacy ng mga tao. So, you have to ask permission, no? Pero kung mag-picture-picture ka lang for your Instagram, okay lang naman 'yun. Okay? Pero if you're going to do a study, no, about that place, is the time to ask for permission that you will fly your drone.
Kuya, from experience, meron bang generic office sa LGU na kailangan mong lapitan? For example, yung PIO nila or Senro nila na para dumiretso na. Kasi usually baka pagpasapasahan eh. Baka lang may generic office na pwedeng pagpaalaman.
Actually, wala naman tayo generic. Siguro kung envi related sa Menro nyo or Senro or sa barangay level, paalam ka lang sa barangay captain. Kasi hindi mo yun sinasabi dahil may batas tayo against it, but sinasabi mo yun out of respect dun sa mga nakatira. Kasi it's weird na may lumilipad na drone from someone na hindi naman taga doon. Okay? So, it's a different case, no? Kung taga doon ka tapos nagpapalipad ka ng drone, kilala ka. Pero kung dayo ka, tapos gagawa ka pa ng study, diba? It's a bit suspicious. So, kailangan mo lang i-inform yung mga persons in authority na magpapalipad ka ng instrument.
Okay. Kuya, going back lang dun sa ano, si DJI na below 250 grams na for research purposes, kaya nang i-publish yung image for journals or kailangan pa rin talaga ng
Yes,
licensed
pwede
drone
naman.
pilot? Pwede na, okay.
I think pwede naman siyang ano. Oo, kasi pwede naman siya. Oo. Kung yung images lang or i-overlay mo sa map, pwede siya.
Okay. Siguro kuya ito meron pong isang question sa sa FB Live. Medyo cute yung question niya pero feel ko okay kailangan siyang itanong din. So pag nag-lowbat daw po ba yung drone, babagsak lang
Okay,
ba siya or automatic na babalik dun sa pilot? May ganun bang drone?
wait lang. Meron, pero iba-iba yung response. Ito, magsisignal siya ng low bat pag meron pa siyang enough battery to go home. So hindi sakto yung konsumo ng energy. Okay? So ito nag-a-alert na to, may 5 minutes pa sa battery eh. Kasi syempre hindi niya alam kung ano
Gano'n
pa yung
kalaki siya.
gagawin mo pabalik, di ba? May return to home button yan, ibig sabihin isang pindot lang uuwi siya. Uh, um, meron naman in some cases, yung phone mo yung mamawalan ng battery. So, like itong si Telo, pag nawala ng battery yung phone mo, mag-hover lang siya. Hindi siya magka-crash. Okay? So, pwede din yun. Meron ka pang time kunin yung power bank mo at mag-charge.
Hmm.
So, ang worst case no na mangyayari pag di ka nakauwi is magla-land lang siya. So, pag inabot ka sa ganong situation, make sure lang na hindi sa tubig.
Kasi magiging
Yun
submarine
lang.
siya.
Isa pa rin siya.
Okay, siguro kuya ako last question na lang kasi it's already 4:18 na, sorry po nag-overtime tayo.
Okay,
For
okay
me
lang.
kuya words of parang encouragement lalo sa mga department chairs or sa mga advisors or nagtuturo ng NYSI. Marami ka na kuyang pinakitang benefits nung paggagawa ng drone tsaka yung pag-incorporate ng mismong methodology sa thesis or sa study proposal nila. Ano pa kaya yung isa pa na para bukas na bukas magche-check out na sila?
Bukas-bukas. Ah, words of wisdom, no? Ayun. I think bilang NBI students and science students in general, meron na tayong instrument that we can associate with our study, no? So ito yung drone. Hopefully lang no in the future na kasi meron tong possibility of abuse, no? From non-scientists, from non-students. Pwede to gamitin sa masama. So sana ma-protect tayo ng mga batas, no? Kasi tayo na gumagamit nito for good. Sana ma-protect din tayo kasi tawag dito, makapagpalipad tayo in peace para ma-meet yung ating mga objectives. So sana in the future, meron tayong protection from the law na pwede tayong mag-gather ng data using these drones. Para dun sa mga advisors, sa mga teachers, I think this early, kung kahit bumili ng ating school or department ng drone, kahit communal na property, please do so kasi ang bilis ng drone technology at ayaw natin mahuli. Okay? Plus yung merong time element, Kendrick, no? Yung ating 2030 climate deadline. Marami tayong kailangan i-observe, no? Sea level rise, deforestation, ang dami natin kailangan tingnan na hindi natin kaya i-monitor from the ground. Okay, so the more scientists who are able to pilot drones and use it for good, no, the more that we can observe yung health ng ating planet. So I think that's enough no para ma-motivate ka na sige, I need to add a new skill no sa aking toolbox. And as an environmental scientist, I need to learn how to fly a drone.
Okay, and bilang
Ayun.
11-11 po today, mag-check out na po tayo ng drones. Kasi malaking bagay talaga siya. Okay, sige. Balik lang po tayo sa ating slides. Kasi medyo patapos na rin naman po ang ating program. So wait lang po, share screen lang. So again, thank you Kuya Jabez for answering our Q&A. So proceed na po tayo sa Certificate of Appreciation. So this certificate is given to Dr. Jabez Joshua Flores in recognition for his valuable contribution as resource speaker in Pandayan, Drone Technologies for Environmental Initiatives, given this 11th day of November 2023, courtesy of the UPLB School of Environmental Science and Management, Los Baños, Laguna, Philippines. Signed by Kenjic, President and Founder of PAES. Maraming salamat kay Jabez. Okay. So again,
Thank
ito po
you.
announcement. Thank you kay Jabez. Dun sa dun sa faculty, may bago tayong universities na nasabi ngayon, si Isabela State, si Davao Oriental, tsaka si Aklan State. Pwede po kayong sumali sa PAES. Kindly contact us kindly contact us on our Facebook page, PAES National, or email us at membership.paes@gmail.com. Wala naman po kaming deadline or cut-off sa membership. Nag-roll lang po to every month. So if you want to join as early as this week, pwede na po namin yung i-process. And then, this is also the last webinar of PAES for this semester. Although meron kaming special webinar on plastic waste hosted by the Tarlac State University and Don Honorio Ventura State University and VISOC on November 18. So medyo mapaaga po to. This would be on November 18, 10 to 11:15 a.m. So sana po makita ulit namin kayo on our webinar next Saturday. And, sorry. Again, ito po, sa mga gusto pang sumali sa PAES, kitang-kita niyo po kung gaano kalaki yung mapa ng Pilipinas. At marami pong universities from NVISAT. So kung sakasakaling hindi afford ng department nyo na magkaroon ng sariling drone, yung mga katabi nyong university from this list of organizations, pwede kayo mag-share. So, share tayo sa ating resources. And again, this is the time na for our evaluation form. So kindly comment na po yung evaluation form link sa ating Facebook Live comment section. So this will be placed in the comment section and will be closed tomorrow by 8 p.m. So enough time na po yung 24 hours plus actually 2 more hours for you to answer evaluation form. And meron pong prompt doon na you're only given 1 month para i-download yung evaluation form kasi i-delete na po namin siya after some time kasi medyo every month po yung webinar ng PAES at kumakain na siya ng storage space. Okay. So wait lang, double check lang natin kung na-comment na po ba ang ating evaluation form. Wait. Okay, so I think nasa comment section na siya. So until 8 p.m. po tomorrow, bukas po yan. And again, if gusto nyo makita kung hindi pa ganun ka-drone photos, yung nasa Instagram namin, medyo camera photos na lang to. Kindly follow us at nvisci_students_ph. And sa mga gusto makanood ng previous 3 episodes ng Pandayan and previous 15 episodes ng Pantas and 2 episodes ng Punla, andun po kami sa YouTube channel at Environmental Science Students PH. And again, sana po nakikinig kayo sa qualified scientist kasi marami po tayong timeline, deadline, 2030, 2050. Kailangan na po natin makinig sa qualified scientist. And daghang salamat sa tanan sa lahat po na andito and amping kanunay. So salamat again. I-end na po namin ang Facebook Live.
Bye-bye.